To another Broke Lives Matter here, right here with George Howard, your financial Moses, guys. But we believe this that money management is a mindset. And if you can change your mind about money, money will change its mind about you and stick around for a whole lot longer. So every single day, I'm coming to you to do one thing, helping you change your mind about money. Because I believe that as soon as you change your mind about money, your money's going to change from changing your pockets to dollar bills in your wallet. That is absolutely true because I know for a fact that poverty is a mindset, but broke, that's a temporary condition. And we're talking about the best investment ever, the best investment ever. And if you don't know, now you know that, guys, we just released 7 new books. The 3 books are still on their way. They won't be here until the 13th, but we got one, Tax Deed Secrets Uncovered. We're talking about all the mistakes that I have made and other people I've seen make, and how you can actually avoid them when getting tax lien and deed investing. The fast start, your fast track, fast track your wealth. This is actually how to get started in tax deeds and lien certificates, and how you can get started right now and do it pretty much the fast and quick way, and actually have success doing it, guys. This is the untold truth about tax liens and deeds. All the myths and all the legacy and all the myths and I can't even think lies. I guess is the best thing I could say about tax liens and deeds investing. Let's tell the truth about them. And then, guys, book number 4 is the Optimum State Guide to Tax Lien and Deed Investing. Now, listen, you can get all of them right now on Amazon, including the 3 that I don't even have yet. But don't buy them yet, guys. You can actually go get these books. Well, not go get them, but you can actually go and register right now at financialmoses.com, and register, because we're going to be having a launch party. And at that launch party, we're giving away, everybody's leaving with the free book. Absolutely everybody's leaving with the free book. So don't just go and start buying books. Just wait and let me give you some. Guys, go to financialmoses.com and go get your free book. So, guys, we're talking about, real quickly, the best investment in the world, right? And I believe this. And matter of fact, I ain't a belief. I'm pretty certain, right? It's my opinion, but I'm pretty certain that tax liens and deed investing is the best investment in the world. Now, if you guys are here and you're watching on replay, drop replay in the chat right quick. But if you're live, drop your name so I can send you a shout out right quick. Drop your name in the chat. Tell me where you're from. Tell me who you are. Tell me where you're from. Drop it in the chat so I can go ahead and send you a shout out. Guys, we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And we're live on probably 3 different channels on YouTube. 2 different channels on YouTube and like 3 different channels on Facebook. And we're believing that we're going to actually be adding TikTok over here, and we're going to be adding Instagram over here. Guys, we're going to be doing this show every single day, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, for about 20 minutes a day. And I've already used 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So let's get to content. Guys, there are 5 major ways that I teach that you should be able to measure an investment. 5 major ways that you should be able to measure an investment. If you're going to compare one investment against another, there are 5 different things you want to compare. All right. You want to write these down right now, highlight them in yellow. Because I don't care if it's Bitcoin, I don't care if it's stock, I don't care if it's mutual fund, I don't care if it's IRA, I don't care if it's real estate, I don't care if it's a business, I don't care what it is. 5 different things that you want to measure against. And number 1 is potential returns. I want to know how much money I'm going to make out this thing. If I put money in, I want to get money out. Potential returns are number 1. Number 2, it is safety. If I put money in, how safe is that return? Another way that you can actually measure that, or actually say it, would be risk, right? What is the level of risk that I'm willing to take on, or what kind of safety is my money have? Number 3 is control. Do you have control over it? Does someone else have control over it? Who has control over my money? Right? And if they have control over it, how good at they are controlling other people's money? Because if they don't have a good record, then I probably don't want them controlling the money, right? And we're going to talk about these individually. Number 4 is volatility. Like, is it up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, right? Or is it just steadily going up, right? What is it? How stable? Like, I don't want money that that has schizophrenia. Like, today it's up, tomorrow's down. Today it's up, tomorrow's down. Like, I don't know how to feel about you right now. Like, and then finally, you guys, is it secure? Is it secure? And I know you said, well, you said safety, right? But yeah, secure is totally different. Totally different. All right. So I have five different things I want to talk to you about, and I got like 10 minutes to talk about each one. So that gives me like 2 minutes to talk about each one to be out of here in 15 minutes. So let's get ready to go. All right. So the first one that we talked about, guys, are actually potential returns, right? And so when you begin to talk about like what are potential returns, we usually measure that by what most people call an ROI. ROI stands for return on investment. It also, and I'm not going to go too deep into it because I don't have time, but there's also a cash on cash return. There's so many ways to measure how you're going to get a return, right? In real estate, you might, do cost per square foot. Another way might be a cap rate. Another one might be a cash multiple. Another one might be a break-even analysis. Like there's so many ways to measure return. But for right now, all we want to measure is I put money in, how much money did I get out? That is what we call a cash on cash return. How much money did I put in? How much money did I get out? That's it. Like you start going to ROI, it calculates debt and all the other stuff. Like we know I put $10 in, I got $50 out. That's I took that times 500 at 50x, right? And I put 10, I got 500 out. That would be an awesome investment. I would put a whole lot of money in that, by the way. If you know I can put $10 and get $500 out, let me know. I probably got a couple mil that we can put in and pull out. All right. All right. So number one is potential returns. And so when you're measuring an investment, I want to know like what is the track record of this investment? How well can it do? What is the likelihood of me getting a 6% or 8% or 10% return back on my money? And when we start looking at like other investments, right? When I call them traditional investments. When we start looking at other investments like, mutual funds, well, mutual funds are usually average about a 4 to a 6% return. Some might find a good one at about a 7% return. And I'm talking about average over 10 years. Like you might have like a good year like 12% and a good year like, 6%. That's going to average out to be like 8%, right? But over a 10-year spread on a mutual fund, you're going to be looking probably about a 6, 7% average return over a 2-year period, over a 10-year period, excuse me. Annuities usually like 4%, 401ks and IRAs, usually about 4 to 6%. CDs, well, we all know CDs don't pay no money, right? So when you start talking about CDs, it's like, yeah. All right. So then we start looking at US bonds. Right now, bonds are doing really well because bonds actually go with inflation. So as inflation went up, bonds went up, which is why you have a yield curve right now, which is totally different. We can't talk about that right now. These yield curves are not good for the US economy. They predict recession. All right. You have money market accounts. Money market accounts, you guys, are typically like 1 to 3%. If you got a 3% money market, you're doing really, really well. It's where they are. But when I look at tax liens and D certificates, guys, I'm sorry, the stock market averages about 6 to 8% averages, right? But when I look at tax liens and deeds are going to give me a double digit return in every state except one. It's at 8%, but in almost every single state. When I say double digit, I'm talking about some states out there, and I can't name them because I literally am over my time already. We got 2%. I'm sorry, we got 10% return in states like Indiana, 12% returns like states like Alabama, 16% return in states like Tennessee, 18% return state like Florida, 25% return states like Texas, right? Depending on the state that you're actually choosing to invest in, you're going to get a solid double-digit return that's going to outperform the stocking market, the S&P, the the bond market, annuities is going to outperform your insurance market. It's going to outperform all of the different indexes and industries that are out there. Tax liens and Ds are just outperforming them, period, hands down, which is why I call it the best investment in the world. So number one is what we call potential ROI. Number two, write this down. How do you measure a good investment? You measure number two by, what do we say? By looking at the safety of the investment. So when we start talking about the safety of a particular investment, you guys, um, we start talking about like how safe, how what What's the likelihood of me losing my money? That's the best way I can put it. What is the likelihood that what kind of risk am I taking on? Is every investor has a different risk tolerance. You have some people that says, I'm young, I'm all in, I want to go in here and make this money. And you got some people say, well, I'm getting older in age and I can't afford to take those losses that I could when I was younger. So I want to be more conservative in my investing. Like, what is your risk tolerance, right? And so when you start looking at, how does tax liens and deeds measure up when it comes against, risk tolerance or security? Well, if I look at a CD is pretty secure. Unless the bank goes out of business, then you still got the FDIC. They're pretty solid, right? Your US bonds. Well, unless they don't, well, I guess right now it probably wouldn't be a good time to talk about it. But unless we default on our debt, which means that they don't find a way to raise the debt ceiling right now, your bonds are pretty safe, right? If they don't raise the debt ceiling, then we lose our credit rating and we're affected a whole nother way, right? Don't worry about it. They're pretty safe. They're going to fix the debt ceiling. All right. Money market accounts, guys, same thing, similar to CDs. Money market accounts are usually insured by the FDIC, so they're pretty secure, right? Um, so not a big deal. But when we start talking about all the rest of them, when you start talking about stocks, when you start talking about our IRAs, when you start talking about anything that's connected to Wall Street, your annuities, well, they're not secured by anything. So if the market goes up, hey, you winning. But when the market comes down, it's but one of the great things about tax link and deed investing is that you are guaranteed. It's the only investment in the world that I know that gives you a guaranteed return. I need you to write that down. It is the only investment in the world that I know about that's going to give you a guaranteed return. So let's put one and two together. One says that I have the best one says that I'm going to get a double digit return, and two says it's going to be guaranteed. I don't even know if you want to call it an investment now, because an investment means that you have the likelihood or you have the potential to lose. If I'm going to get double digit returns and it's secure where I can't win, I don't know if I want to call it an investment. Like, yeah. So anyway, number two is that we actually going to talk about security, right? But then we're going to leave security, guys. So the first way you measure an investment is going to be potential returns. Number two is going to be safety. Number three is going to be control. Now, when I put money in the bank, as in a CD or money market account, well, it's insured by the FDIC. I don't have any control over that investment. I don't know what the bank is going to do with that money. I don't know what they're investing in. All I know is that it's locked. I can't touch it for a period of time. Well, not money markets. It's pretty liquid, which is why the returns are so low. And yeah. So I don't really know what's going to happen with it, right? So because of that, I don't have any control over it. Especially like now people say, well, you have control in the stock market. Yes, you do, because you get to pick what stock you're going to invest in, but then you don't have any control over the company that you pick in the stock in. So, for example, I can pick Walmart, I can pick Amazon, I can pick Nike, I can pick Coach, right? These are companies that do quite well, but I don't have any control over the company. So I'm putting my money in a company that I have no control over. And guys, we just had a report just released that a lot of these CEOs and CFOs, which is your chief executive officers and your chief financial officers, their reports, they're lying to their investors. So that's a whole nother one, right? But when I stack this up against tax liens and deed certificates, well, um, I like my odds on it because I have 100% control. I control what state I invest in. I control what neighborhood I invest in. I control what community I invest in. I even control what property I invest in. And then not only do I control that, but I control if it's owner occupied, non-owner occupied, do they take care of their lawn? Do they have a mortgage on the property? I can look even deeper into those things. I have 100% control inside of this investment. So now let's put three of them together. Number one was potential returns. Number two was safety. Number three is control. When I look at tax liens and deeds, it's a double digit return. I'm gonna have safety because it's guaranteed. And then number three, I have control over it because I get to pick where I invest and what I invest in and what property I invest in. I'm liking tax liens and deeds, but I think they are the best investment in the world. Seriously, right? Guys, if you guys are on the chat, guys, right quick, tell me what you think about it so far. Number five, and the last one, well, I'm sorry, one, two, three. Number four. Number four is volatility. Like, is it gonna go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down? Right? Have y'all seen the little bar graph when they talk about the stock market? It just look like it's doing the wave, like it's like woo, right? It's like, yeah, no, that's not for me. Like, you wake up one morning, you look at your portfolio and like, yeah, we're winning, and you come home the next day, you look at it and be like, wait, it just dropped 200 points. What happened? How much money did I just lose? All right, come across the news. Breaking news: the Dow and the Dow just dropped 500 points up. Right? It's ridiculous, right? Well, that's because investing can be something. I'm gonna say can be because it's not really gambling. It's more like predicting. Right? They call it technical analysis. We're gonna look at the analysis of what they've done in the past. We're gonna look at the C-suite executives. We're gonna look at the history of what they've done, and now we're gonna actually look on the charts and see where we are based on the history. We're gonna actually say this is what we think is going. Yeah, all right, all that kind of stuff, guys. I don't have to do none of that. With tax liens and deeds, I can say in this state, I'm guaranteed this return, and it's not going to go up and down. It's not going to fluctuate. It's going to give me a fixed return every single time. Now, if you like fixed returns, I need you to drop a one in the chat right now. Like, I ain't got to worry about it going up and coming down. I ain't got to worry about the economy going crazy. I ain't got to worry about banks closing. I ain't got to worry about interest rates fluctuating. I ain't got to worry about the Federal Reserve System. I ain't got to worry about a housing crisis. I know for a fact I'm going to get a double-digit return. And not only I see you, Ms. Delia, not only am I going to get a double-digit return, but it's going to be fixed. Just like you want a fixed mortgage, I don't want my mortgage going up and down and up and down. I don't want my investment going up and down, up and down. I want 25% in the state of Texas. I'm going to get it every single time. I want 18% in Florida unless I bid it down. I'm going to get 16% in Tennessee. I'm going to get 10% in Indiana. Like, I know I'm going to get these returns, and it's fixed. It's not going anywhere. It's solidified. It is in state law. State law says I'm going to get this return. And if I don't get it, well, that brings me to my last point. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But I don't get that with any other investment. No other investment says, now let's put the first four together. Number one was, potential returns. It's double-digit returns. Nobody else is offering yet. Number two is how secure is it? It's guaranteed in state law. Number three is, well, who's going to control it? You pick it. You pick what you invest in, what property you invest in. Number four, is it volatile? No, it's fixed. And then number five, is it secured? Well, there's no other investment in the world that I know of that's secured, which means they put collateral up against it. So look at an annuity. Nope. Well, I guess you can kind of say that all the ones that are insured by the FDIC, I guess, is secured by the government and the government's reputation. So like your money market, your CDs, those are going to be, I can kind of consider those secured. But anything outside of that, your annuities, your 401ks, your IRAs, your and that is something called an equity index annuity that does have a floor, but it's still not secured by anything. Well, we can actually keep going, right? So let's look at stock market. It's not secured by anything. If I put my money in a stock and that stock tanks, my money tanks with it. But in tax liens and deed certificates, if the house or if the homeowner does not pay me my money back, plus the interest rates that I'm supposed to get, I get their house debt free because my investment is secured by real estate. I have guaranteed collateral, which why I say you get to pick the house. You get to pick the house. It is the best investment in the world, you guys. I'm telling you, and it's been around. It's like, well, What kind of longevity does it have? Right. Well, I'll answer that question for people who says, well, what kind of longevity does it have? I'll tell you, tax liens and deeds have been around longer than any other investment we just named. Arguably stocks, but it's been around longer than Wall Street. It's been around longer than Federal Reserve System. It's been along longer than annuities and CDs and all the other stuff that you can name. Arguably a stock, they say there's maybe you can read one article and say tax liens and deeds was first. You read another one says no, this company actually sold a stock in this year. So either way it go, if it's arguably one of the oldest investments in America and it's still around and it's going to give you the highest potential return, it's going to give you more control. It's going to give you the safest investment ever, and it's going to give you no volatility, and it's secured by real estate. Well, I think it's the best investment in the world. Matter of fact, I can't think of another investment that can outperform this thing. So the question is, why do I know about all the other investments and how to invest in them? And I don't know anything about this one when it's the best investment in the world. Well, I tell you why. Because they never wanted you to know. Why? Because it's the best investment in the world. Why would you tell everybody about the best investment in the world? We're going to keep that to ourselves. So you give me your money. I'm going to go over here and invest in this, and I'm going to get a guaranteed 25%, or I'm going to get the house. But don't worry, I'll give you 4% returns. So you got 25 and I got 4, and you use my money to do it? Huh? That don't make sense. That don't fly with me at all. But that's what's been happening for years. Not anymore, guys. I'm telling you, we have on the 29th, guys. I want you guys to go to financialmoses.com. Say it with me. Financialmoses.com, guys. I'm going to be releasing. I got 7 books we're releasing all at one time, guys. These are really nice size books. They're 8.5 by 11. So it may look like they're kind of thin, but they're nice size books. And you can see that, nice size writing as well. So, we really want you guys to go to financialmoses.com. Again, I have the Ultimate State Guide to Tax Lien and Deed Investing, guys. In this book, I give you a state-by-state strategy on how to invest in tax lien certificates in every single state in the country. But then we keep going. We talk about the myth buster, like what is the truth about tax liens and deeds and what they're not telling you and what they don't want you to know, like right here, right? Then we come right back and says, how will you get started right away and start making money right away in tax liens and deed investing? This one right here it's the money maker. But then we go even farther and we say, well, what about mistakes? What about the mistakes, guys? All the mistakes that I have seen and my students have done over the last 8 years, guys, I bought 150 of them. My students have bought over 3,000 properties using tax liens and deeds. That's not how many tax liens we've bought and what we purchased. That is how many properties that we actually got deeded in our name. Guys, go to financialmoses.com. Go register right now. It is absolutely free, and everybody gets a free book. Come to the launch party. You're leaving with a free book. And guys, we have 3 more coming out. You got the property strategy, where we're going to tell you every single strategy on my strategy on how I absolutely get the strategy or get a property every single time I invest. Well, about 80% of the time, right? Like 80% of the time I invest, if I want the property, I can get the property. But then I have one called guaranteed wealth. Well, guaranteed wealth means that I'm going to get paid double-digit returns. I don't want to be a landlord. I just want to get my money, and I want 18 and 25 and 10% interest guaranteed with no volatility, no, secured by real estate. I want that money every single time. Well, I teach you how to do that. And then we also have one called the OTC strategy, which is the over-the-counter strategy, where you can just walk in and buy property from the government over the counter. Those are the 3 books that are still coming, and they're coming last because I put a lot of work in those. Those books are kind of thick. So these books right here, guys, they're excellent books, wonderful books. They're great resources. But the strategies, those are the books that are coming on the 13th. Got 7 books. We're releasing them all at the same time. I'm so excited about it. Guys, go to financialmoses.com. My time is up. I'm 4 minutes over. I talk too much. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this best investment ever. If you're watching the replay, drop it in the chat. Replay! Right? That is what it is, you guys. I love you with the love of Christ. Go to financialmoses.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. When we're talking about what? The best investment in the world. Tax liens and deed certificates. All right, guys. I'll see you guys.